Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Ant, one half of the Linguin Duo here, coming at you with another Dragonling video. Shouts out to all my fellow Dragonling duelists out there, still holding down the fort and playing this insanely cracked deck. I want to make this video for you guys today because I want to talk about some of the different tech options that are available to us today and talk about their pros and cons. I'm going to go over a few different deck lists today. I'm not going to do a full deck profile for every single one of them, but I want to talk about a few of the cards in there and talk about their advantages and disadvantages of playing them. So, if you guys do like this content, please give us a like and subscribe for more. Let me know what you guys are playing in your lists down below so that I could test it out and possibly make a video on that. Without further ado, let's get into some of these lists. I want to start off by talking about pure Dragonling. This is the deck that I'm playing mostly. And I think this is probably the best version of Dragonlink that you could play, and I want to go over some of my options right now. This is what I've been liking in my playtesting this format, and to start off, I want to talk about Black Metal Dragon. Now, Black Metal Dragon is still a really good normal summon that we could play, and I like to play it as my fourth normal summon starter of the deck. I don't really want to play it at multiple copies because I want to keep Red MD in my deck as much as possible to summon off of Seal, because Nibiru is one of the most prevalent hand traps this format. So keeping it in your deck to summon off of Seal for your recovery is really nice. I don't really want to waste it to do my combo and then still get Nibiru'd and have less recovery. So I like playing one or two of these just for that extra normal summon boost, but like I said, you want to keep this in your deck so that way you can have a good play after you get Nibiru'd. Another good card that I like to play is this Galactic Spiral Dragon. You want to be playing at least one level 8 extender in your Dragonlink deck because you want to play the Zombie Vampire. I like Galactic Spiral because it facilitates these rank 8 plays a lot easier because you can make the monsters on your field also level 8 so that we can go into your rank 8 plays. I like Galactic Spiral a lot as well because it can special summon itself from the graveyard, so if you mill it off of your Pepega Ruler or your Zombie Vampire, or even in some certain scenarios, you can send it off of Ravine when you don't need to send abs. And a lot of times I find myself like in the middle of my combo getting into something like Seal and the Pepega Ruler, and having this in my graveyard to make a rank 8 play is really, really nice. 2 Noctovision Dragon is something that a lot of Dragonlink players go back and forth on. Should we play 2? Should we play 3? I wouldn't argue against playing 3, but I like playing 2 personally because I want to not brick on all of these big dragon monsters that we have, such as the Levy, the Spiral, and the Abzerouter dragons. I think 2 is good because you can see it enough in your opening hand when you do open up some of these weaker normal summon monsters like Rocket Synchron or Tracer or something like that. And playing 1 is just not right because you'll almost never see it. Playing 2 is good enough because you can open it without opening up multiples and still have a good chance to mill it off of all of your mill effects. Another advantage of playing pure Dragonlink is also the amount of hand traps that you could play, and in a format that is so combo heavy with all the scythe lock stuff that's going on, you want to open at least 2 hand traps so that way you can stop your opponent from doing that stuff on you. So I like playing this list because you can play 12 hand traps and you have a actually good chance of going second. Another thing that I like to play in a combo heavy variant is Triple Tactics Talent, because when you go first, if you get hand trapped by something like an Ash or an Effect Veiler, those are really weak and you could just rip cards out of your opponent's hand, and if you use it in combination with Levy, your opponent is down like almost 3 cards and they're starting their turn with 3 cards, so it becomes really, really nice. And even the draw 2 effect is really nice because you can draw into some of your better extenders like Nocto, Abs, Levy, and stuff like that. So that's some of the things that I like to play in my pure Dragonlink deck. Now, the next list that I want to talk about is going to be the Brave Dragonlink deck. So this is a version of Dragonlink that I'm not too fond of, to be honest, but I do like the advantage that Brave token gets you. I wouldn't say that this is the best kind of deck to pair with the Brave tokens, but you can make a lot of nice plays and set up a lot of good interruptions with this Brave token stuff. You'll notice right off the bat that you have to switch your normal summons from 3 Seyfert to the Black Metal Dragon. And like I said, using Black Metal Dragon early to get out your red MD actually makes you more susceptible to Nibiru, but in a deck like Brave, where you have Griffin and going into the Baron, that's going to be your way to play around Abiru from that. But if you're stuck without the Brave engine and you're just trying to do your dragon combo, if you get Nibiru'd on something like that, it's going to really hurt you. It also forces you to cut down a lot of your good dragon engine. And as you can see right here, like all the dragon extenders that I'm playing, I have to cut down my Noctovision dragon, cut down my Abzerrouter, which makes my dragon engine a lot weaker. A good card that you could play in here, however, is going to be Destrudo. I don't play Destrudo in my main Dragonlink deck because the plays that it facilitates aren't really that powerful, because Needle Fiber isn't that good of a play to go into if you're playing pure Dragonlink. I find that Destrudo in pure Dragonlink is more of like a Monster Reborn that you have to pay half your life points for. But in a deck like this, where your Halki Fibrax play is actually really, really good, you want to play something like Destrudo because you can send it off of Foolish Burial, get it milled, or send it off Ravine, and that's a nice option for you to have. And again, you do have to cut down your dragon engine a lot, which is why I don't like playing this version of Dragonlink. And going down to 1 safer, because it conflicts with the Brave token stuff, you can't get your normal summon. So you kind of have to cut this down to 1 just so you can have a recovery with Levianeer. And another problem with this variant of the deck is that you have to cut down your hand traps and going second cards. So as you can see in this list, I'm not going to say that this is the best version of Brave Dragons that you could play, but like it doesn't leave you a lot of room to play these going second cards, which is really, really tough because your going first turn is really, really strong. But if you're going second and you don't have hand traps, you're going to be losing to Scythe a lot. But I do want to talk about some of the pros of this version because there are some nice plays that you can do, especially with the Rose Dragon package that you have right here. So when you do your combo, you go into Needle Fiber, and if you have Griffin on the board, you can special summon Rose Dragon and go into Baron. We all know this play from base to now. That's probably the deck that does this combo the best, but it's still nice to do in Dragonlink. And these guys are dragons, which is some synergy with that as well. And when you do go into your full combo, you set up an insane board because you have not only your dragon interruptions, such as Seal, Hot Red, or Savage, but you're also ending with Baron and going into Shooting Riser to dump Snow. And Snow is also a really nice interruption. I do consider playing in pure Dragonlink as well, but the banish effect is kind of costly sometimes. But in a deck like this, where you can get to Shooting Riser very consistently, it makes Snow just that much better. But, like I said, this isn't my favorite version of Dragonlink because the most beneficial thing about Dragonlink is the dragon engine itself. And when you have to put the Brave engine in here, which is like huge, it's almost like 10 cards, you're cutting down a lot of your recovery that you could get on your turn 2. And that recovery is what actually kills your opponent on the follow-up turn when you are playing a pure Dragonlink deck. So just some of my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think about the Brave Dragons in the comment section below. I'm still not too big of a fan of it, but I do want to put it out there because I still think that it does set up some nice plays. The last deck that I want to talk about is going to be this mid-range Dragonlink strategy that I have right here. And I threw a lot of the extra tech options that we have in Dragonlink into this deck because I think they synergize really well with each other. Being a mid-range strategy, you want to focus on managing your resources and outgrinding your opponent. And even if you end on weak boards like Seal and IP, you still have a lot of follow-up that you generate throughout your combo to kill your opponent on the crackback. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these good recovery cards that we have. Omnidragon Brotar is a really nice Seal summon because you can use it to search your Levianeer, which goes ahead and kills your opponent on turn 2. And another nice Seal summon is the Hibernation Dragon because this will add a card, a level 4 or lower dragon monster from your graveyard back to your hand, and it lets you have like another nice normal summon follow-up in Seifert or Rocket Synchron. And even if you go into the play of Seal IP into Unicorn, you can use this card that you add back from the graveyard as your Unicorn discard. A lot of times what I find myself ending on in Dragonlink is at least like 2 interruptions on board with a hand trap in hand and follow-up in my hand, but I don't want to discard that hand trap or the follow-up for a Unicorn, so having a card like Hibernation Dragon helps you facilitate that Unicorn play. Going along with that, Chamber Dragon Maid is also helpful in that instance because when you summon it off of Seal, you can add your Tidying and then use the Tidying to discard for your Unicorn. I took out Seal of my main Dragonlink I took out the Chamber Dragon made of my main Dragonling strategy because I find it's really bad against the heavy combo decks that we have, and especially Draco back bouncing cards back and Vishuda bouncing cards back. It's just not beneficial to have these trap cards in your main deck, but it's still really nice in a mid-range strategy because of the advantage that it generates off of the one Dragon made tidying. This deck is also really nice because you still have a lot of space for your hand traps. As you see, I'm playing 9 hand traps in this one. You could cut 2 cards to add that 10th and 11th hand trap in there. So you might want to mess around with that if you're interested in a more mid-range strategy like this. And also I want to talk about the Chaos Emperor Dragon. As I said earlier, you do want to be playing a level 8 Dragon Extender in your deck. And I find that the Chaos Emperor Dragon in a mid-range strategy like this is really nice because of the recovery that it nets you. It can let you, its Pendulum effect lets you add a banished dragon monster back to your hand, and you can recycle your Seyforts that way, or even recycle your one Striker Dragon that way too. Whereas in the pure Dragonlink strategy, if you don't have this card, you have to rely on Chaos Space to shuffle this back into your deck, but having Chaos Emperor Dragon to put it back is just so free. The only problem that I don't like about it is when you have to special summon it out, you have to waste a lot of your resources, and you already have so many dragon monsters that require you to banish a light and a dark to special summon themselves, and you might not have enough lights in your graveyard to special summon this guy back. Whereas a Galactic Spiral Dragon can special summon itself out for free as long as you have 2 light or dark dragon monsters on your field. And you do want to be playing a level 8 dragon monster because you want to go into your zombie vampire. And you can even also go into another tech option, which I have right here, which is the Sanithon Sky Prison. This is a nice card to play if you're playing against a lot of PK because it shuts off special summoning from the graveyard. And it's just a nice rank 8 that you can play to pair along with your zombie vampire. And it still lets you manage your resources without sending the Chaos Emperor back to your deck or banishing your Papega Ruler. Finally, I want to talk about Aether Dragon right here. This is a tech that a DB Grinder has, put on his channel, so shouts out to that. I haven't really tested it too much myself, but it is a nice tech option that you can play if you are ending on that seal a lot of times. You turn seal into 2 interruptions by playing this, because when this is special summoned, you can banish a card on the field. So it's nice if you find yourself like your boards aren't too strong. You want to play this in your deck, even in playing it in your side deck, so that when you go first, your seal turns into 2 interruptions. And also playing a card like Goes and Match, Rivalry of the Warlords, or Summon Limit in a mid-range Dragonlink strategy is something nice to play because you're setting up your board, which isn't going to be too strong, but if you have a card, a purple card to back it up, that's really strong, that will stop your opponent from playing, so that way you can kill them on the crackback without having to deal with too many interruptions that they set up. I also want to talk about the 3 Noctovision Dragon in here. Like I said, 2 is usually my preferred ratio, but when you're playing a deck that has a lot of weaker normal summons that don't facilitate 2 dragons on the board, you want to play an extender like Noctovision Dragon so that way you can get into your Ravine or your Seal and get that +1. So you aren't stuck when you have to normal summon Brotar or normal summon Hibernation Dragon. You still have that backup extender of Noctovision Dragon in your deck. So those are my Dragonlink tech options for this format. If you guys do like this video, be sure to give us a like and leave a comment down below of some of the cards that you're playing in your list so that way I can check them out. Thank you all for watching this video, and peace.